Israel and Iran say the latest round of fighting has stopped for now, after both sides exchanged strikes that threatened to reignite the wider West Asia conflict. The flare-up came after Iran launched missiles at Israel in response to Israeli attacks on Hezbollah-linked areas near Beirut, raising fears that months of fragile diplomacy could unravel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the fire on the front is contained, while Tehran announced it had ended its military action against Israel.
אחר שאיראן תקפה את ישראל, הנחיתי את צה"ל לתקוף מטרות צבאיות וכלכליות ברחבי איראן. גם את זה עשינו. כרגע האש בחזית הזאת נצורה, כי אחרי שהקינו במשטר הטרור בטהרן, הוא חדל מלתקוף אותנו. במידה שמשטר הטרור יעשה את הטעות ויחזור לתקוף אותנו, נגיב בעוצמה, כי לישראל יש זכות מלאה להגנה עצמית, ואנו מממשים אותה ככל שהדבר נדרש. אני אומר זאת לכם, אזרחי ישראל היקרים, כפי שאני אומר זאת בהערכה ובכבוד בשיחותיי הטובות עם ידידי הנשיא טראמפ. ביממה האחרונה, איראן וחיזבאללה ניסו לכפות עלינו משוואה חדשה. והמשוואה הזו היא בלתי נסבלת ובלתי מתקבלת על דעתי. הם חשבו שהם יראו משטח לבנון ואיראן על ישראל, ושאנחנו לא נפעל. זה לא קרה, וזה גם לא יקרה. לא במשמרת שלי. כפי שעשיתי במשך עשרות שנים, אני עומד בתוקף על זכותנו לפעול נגד אויבינו.
The exchange began after Iran fired missiles towards Israeli territory late Sunday, describing the attack as retaliation for Israeli strikes on Hezbollah strongholds in Beirut's southern suburbs. Israel responded with strikes on targets at Mashahar petrochemical complex in southwest Iran, claiming the facilities were linked to Iran's missile program. Iranian officials said parts of the plant were damaged. Iran's emergency authority said 15 people were injured in the latest Israeli attacks, including 14 in Mashhad County, but reported no fatalities. Iran's Revolutionary Guard then claimed responsibility for a retaliatory strike targeting a similar facility in the Israeli city of Haifa. Tehran has repeatedly linked the broader regional ceasefire to Israel's military campaign in Lebanon, warning that continued attacks on Hezbollah would trigger a response. Iran warned Monday that it could strike again if Israeli operations in Lebanon continue. Netanyahu responded by saying Israel would answer with full force if Iran resumed attacks. Israeli Defense Minister Katz, meanwhile, said military operations against Hezbollah would continue regardless of developments with Iran. US President Donald Trump urged both countries to stop shooting and said final negotiations towards a broader peace agreement should continue without disruption. According to Axios, Trump warned Netanyahu that Israel could find itself increasingly isolated if it returned to a full-scale war with Iran. The Israeli Prime Minister later said he told Trump that Israel would continue exercising what it described as its right to self-defense. Despite the tensions, both countries signaled confidence that the ceasefire would hold. Israel announced schools would reopen on Tuesday after missile-related closures, while Iran reopened its airspace. The latest confrontation unfolded at a critical moment for ongoing mediation efforts involving Pakistan. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Bahai said diplomacy remains active but acknowledged the fighting could continue to affect negotiations. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian insisted Tehran remains committed to talks, saying Iran has neither left the battlefield nor the negotiating table. Parliamentary Speaker Mohammad Baghar Ghalibaf, however, accused the United States of not genuinely pursuing either dialogue or a ceasefire and called for a firm response to defend Iranian interests. Adding to regional tensions, Yemen Houthis movement announced a new missile attack on Israel and declared a ban on Israeli-linked shipping in the Red Sea. The group said all Israeli maritime movements would now be considered legitimate military targets and claimed responsibility for a missile barrage against what it called sensitive Israeli targets. The announcement raises the prospect of renewed disruption to one of the world's most important shipping routes after months of relative calm. While both Israel and Iran say the latest exchange of fire has ended, threats from all sides suggest the situation remains highly fragile. With negotiations continuing and regional actors warning of further escalation, the coming days could prove crucial for whether diplomacy holds or the conflict slides back towards a wider war.